Hey guys, it's your pal Victor here from Cult Classics, and hey, we've got some more toy reviews for you guys. One of the things that's been going on lately, you know, the new Superman movie is coming out July, and this year McFarlane's been doing a lot of Superman figures. Last year we were hunting for the new 52 Cyborg Superman because we kind of thought that's the only one that's going to happen, but it ended up being that there was a Walmart exclusive Cyborg Superman and there is a Target version coming out. We were hunting for the Reign of the Superman style Cyborg Superman, and we found him. He looks awesome, and we're going to do a review of him right now here on Cult Classics. Check it out. Alright, you guys, so this is the new Cyborg Superman figure, and we're really excited to check him out. As you can see, the side says it's the Revenge of the Green Lanterns, but the back is clearly from Reign of the Superman. It's a 90s storyline when the death of Superman happened. 4 alternative Supermen showed up, each claiming to be the original. There was Steel, John Henry Irons, who was literally the Man of Steel. There was Superboy, who was a genetic clone of Superboy. There was the Eradicator, which was basically a Kryptonian supercomputer that had created a Superman body for itself while the real Superman was healing in a regenerative bath. And then there's this guy, the Cyborg Superman, Hank Henshaw. He originally showed up in a storyline in the Adventures of Superman comic, playing off of the Fantastic Four, hence why he has the alliterative name. These astronauts went up into space and they all developed terrible powers, sort of parroting the Fantastic Four. And Hank Henshaw basically became like a has technokinesis, something like that, where he can like create bodies, communicate through technology, and build a body for himself. So the way he became Superman to destroy the original Superman's reputation, because he blamed Superman for the death of his family, he found through computers and such the location of Superman's the spacecraft that brought him to Earth, and by transmitting his essence into the matrix of that ship, he got some of Superman's genetic materials and Kryptonian materials, and he was able to create a cybernetic body that was half machine and half a genetic clone using Superman's genetic material. And that's his origin. Kind of creepy. Basically, think of him as the original Batman Who Laughs, the first evil doppelganger that was kind of like a big foil to the Man of Steel. So we're gonna open him up. As you can see, he comes with an alternate hand and an alternate hand, but yeah, let's check him out. I'm excited. All right, so here he is out of the box. Now I'm gonna tell you a couple things right off the bat. One, right here, they did keep the hole through the leg. Even the DC Direct Cyborg Superman has this where you can see through the leg. So this is a fully new sculpt. There is a wire cape. There's no yellow S on the back. And he's supposed to have a silver disc painted on the side of his leg. This is a newly sculpted leg. And the thing to have the silver disc painted is there. It's just not painted, which is weird because if you're not going to paint it, why bother sculpting the leg at all? My thoughts are that this is largely a brand new sculpt as far as I can tell. Maybe this arm is reused from the Silver Age Superman buck, just repainted. But we're going to open him up and see how he scales with him, because the whole problem with most of the McFarlane DC Supermans is that they all scale too small. The Silver Age digital figure Superman is the first kind of larger scale Superman figure. So we're gonna see. Also, you might not be able to tell from this, but the S logo here is actually sculpted, which is nice because McFarlane's sort of got into this hobby or habit of just painting the S on or putting a decal, like a slide decal, and I liked the first few series when these are basically sculpted. And there's good paint apps here on the eye. The eye here is painted yellow with red, but this right here, the chin is not painted. Yeah, let's cut him out of here, and we'll we'll take him out and compare him to Silver Age Superman. Yeah. All right, and here is Cyborg Superman right out of the box. So right from the get-go, we've got his cape posed, right? And we're gonna, let's bring him over here with Silver Age Superman. And these guys have very different sculpts all around. They have different shorts. There's no shared parts between them. But the upside is, as you can tell, they are the same height, which is great because that means, that they scale well with Power Girl here. You can see here, they're all the same height. And that's kind of awesome because we're getting some consistent scaling here with these characters. And I really like the expression on the face of Cyborg Superman here. I like how this is, he's kind of unruly here. And he's got this, the slice of the clone Superman flesh here. It's painted right here, but it is slightly raised too. Like I said, you can see through the leg right there. But yeah, here's where this whole thing should be painted silver. It's not painted at all, even though they painted right here. So that's kind of weird, It's like if the sculpted details there do it. Right here they have this too. I feel like this might have been a cool place to put in like a moving piston like the NECA RoboCop figures. This is kind of like their play on the design. Sorry for bopping that. They got a ripped, S suit here, and I'm sure that's just so, they wouldn't have to just like stop the sculpt right here, but they didn't paint this side more metallic the way it's always portrayed in the comics, but I like these two guys together, the Silver Age Superman and the Cyborg. As you can tell, it is the same exact S shield. This one is just sculpted, and this one is like a decal. I really wish this guy had a variation of this. They had done that, but that would have been a new torso, and I'm sure McFarlane's just trying not to tool new things. He scales well with the Batman, Superman, Batman right there, But I also think they could have just, if they had done the S cape here, it would have been awesome too. It's like you already did it for this guy, why don't you do it for this? But this is a fidgetal, so maybe there's more. But this is still a good wired cape. It hangs well. You can get it kind of dynamic. I do wish they just kind of gone the route of making him a collector's edition, so we could have gone a bunch of different hands for him. I'm going to try to use some different hands, because I know I have a cool kind of, sort of like this hand that I'll end up trying on him, because this hand is just kind of like meh, And I know some other people we're going to see some third-party cannon arms for this guy, so I'm looking forward to that, because you can see it's kind of like, it is like a piece here where you could pop this out if you boil and heat it. But I just really like the head here. And I know some people have complained oh, it could be whiter. I kind of like the Terminator-esque, because you tilt it down in that, it just looks fiendish. I actually kind of wish they had painted the teeth white. I think sometimes they've done it that way, but it's sort of endoskeleton-y too. So I don't mind it. It just looks a little bit crazy. And yeah, this is like one of the best Superman villains, and I'm glad he got a really good figure out of this. I did like the kind of crazy New 52 Cyborg Superman, but I'm glad that McFarlane was able to get this guy out to us while there was still time. And and it seems like he's a completely new sculpt, which is also cool. I know he's getting the Manhunter red and black variant made as a Target exclusive. I don't know that I'm gonna get that. He even has a hand that has all the power rings. But yeah, I'm just happy to have this. I like that he scales well, you know, with Superman here. And yeah, there he is, Cyborg Superman from McFarlane Toys. I'm gonna go, I've been getting a lot of the McFarlane Toys this year, and there's some cool ones this year that have come out, you know, and he's clearly one of my favorites, along with the mod King Shark. I like that we're getting some weird sculpts from him and not just like, you know, blank body, you know, heads, you know, replacements. Like, let's get all the use we can out of these blank bucks, but we're still getting some cool original sculpts, you know. Because yeah, between Power Girl, Cyborg Superman, King Shark, we're having a pretty solid year for McFarlane, and I hope we get some more announcements soon at San Diego Con, and that we get that Batman Returns wave, which I'm sure that's going to be on my top 10 of the year. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this, check it out, leave us a comment, subscribe, and thanks for checking this out.